Well, welcome everybody. Welcome Thursday, April 25th. This is the kickoff meeting, first public meeting for the EMEA chapter of Kwaai. I want to introduce, we'll introduce Cristian Randieri in a minute. Cristian is the director of the EMEA chapter. Thank you so much for pulling together this meeting, pulling together the leading the chapter of Kwaai in Europe, Middle East, and Africa, and looking forward to hearing more about what the emphasis is going to be later on. Cristian, perhaps what I'll do is I'll give an update of what Kwaai is all about. I'll give an introduction to everyone of what Kwaai is all about, what our mission is, and why we're all here. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen now. And here it comes. So the broad message is AI, we have to take it personally. Now it's personal. The theme of Kwaai is the pursuit of personal AI. The broad mission is to democratize AI, but that's a somewhat theoretical goal. Practically, what can we do? We can work together to try and make personal AI a ubiquitous reality. It means that everyone can own their own AI. We're doing it on three fronts. We're pursuing a personal AI operating system. We are researching into fundamental AI, and we're drafting AI policy. These are three broad work streams within our community. We think of ourselves as the Linux of AI. You'll recall Linux was a similar movement, volunteer, open source, non-profit movement that was a counter weight to the monopolistic forces that were dominating the operating system business. And now Linux is the dominant operating system, and the industry is healthier for it. And there are for-profit entities built on top of it, Red Hat being the first billion-dollar entity on top of open source. So look, if we can achieve a fraction of what Linux did, then we can congratulate ourselves. But what's the problem? So many people wring their hands about AI in different ways. There's sort of a generalized angst. You can see this funnel. What Kwaai is really focusing on where the problem lies is who owns your AI. And fundamentally, that means who owns your data, because AI is built. AI is hungry for data. AI is nothing without data. So our mantra is own your own AI. Imagine an assistant that you own, that you can talk to, that knows you, that can make you a better you. That's what we imagine. Challenge is, how do we build that? How do we build it so that it's secure and private, that you're not paying a toll to go and visit your own AI, to go and query your data, as all the SaaS providers would love you to do? In essence, how do we make AI empower humanity rather than further enslave it or monetize it or extort value out of humanity? So we do this by building a movement. The movement comes first, and then we execute on a plan. So the Kwaai movement is a collection of officers, an advisory council, a board of directors, but it's really the members. The members are the foot soldiers that are doing the development, the research, and the drafting of policy. These main three streams are all in service of personal AI. I'll not dwell on this slide too much, but we can do a whole lot better than the trillion-dollar data mining and advertising industry. If personal AI can allow us to make B to C becoming me to B, instead of the business to consumer relationship, you become the first party, and businesses are the second or third parties. So here's Kwaai. Kwaai has been talking to the left-hand side of the ecosystem, the volunteers. We're appealing to volunteers. Come and join Kwaai. We are a super intelligence of critical thinkers in the AI world. You'll be influencing the movement. You'll be donating your skills and your time to furthering the mission. And in return, you'll be joining a network. You'll be gaining contacts. You'll be learning. You'll be getting experience. You'll participate in the community, maybe even gain certification, but definitely satisfaction that you are doing good. We've not yet started talking to the right-hand side of the diagram, the users of the outputs of what we're doing. That will come along later on. But we have started talking to funding sources, a whole array of, all the way from individual donors, all the way to through sponsorship and investment. Here's the traction we've made so far. And this was as of the end of March. We've formed a corporation. It's a nonprofit. It's a 501c3. That's in the US tax code. That means that we're exempt from corporate taxes. We created an initial board, and we've held 2 summits so far. Actually, well, our membership has now reached 330. We are doubling every quarter. I'm saying here we're adding 60 members a month. No, we're doubling every quarter, and that is an exciting trajectory we're on. Our target is to reach 1,000 members by the end of the year. We'll probably exceed that. And if we value the contributions of everyone, it's quite significant. I can give you a quick demonstration of what we're building. Who are you?
I am Lumi, an AI language model created by Kwaai Labs. I was born on the day when the World Wide Web turned 30, and I enjoy passing bits between CPU and GPU in my spare time. My large language model is an open chat, and I use RAG and OpenChat to come up with answers to questions. I don't recall a childhood and lack a sense of time, but I find it very hard to forget things. I am an avid reader and can construct responses specific to the data provided.
Okay, so this is a proof of concept. This is what we showed at the end of the first quarter. Lots of criticism of this. Why does she look like she's just come out of Donald Trump's sun lounge? Criticisms of what the face looks like. Criticisms of representation. Why are her lips not moving? I don't want to see a face on my AI. This is Bruce Schneier. We built a bot for him, and he said, my AI, I don't want my AI to have a face. I just want it to answer questions. So why should I fear AI? I'm not sure if that's gonna. So you can build a bot based on
You should fear
any
AI not because of the technology itself, but because of how it might be used by corporations for profit maximization. As AI becomes more integrated into our lives, it's important to understand its risks and limitations in order to use it responsibly and avoid being taken advantage of. While the risks of AI might be remote, they are still serious enough that it's important to be aware of them and prepare for a world where AI may not always be trustworthy.
Okay, so these are 3 examples of AI agents that are built from the same basic code base. we would like it to be so simple that we're going to create another button here where you click on it and you can, in 3 clicks, create your own agent. 1, what does it look like? Okay, I don't want it to look have this face. What does it sound like? What voice is it going to have? What knowledge base is it going to be informed by? So those will be the 3. If we can achieve that, that'll be great. Okay, so and we'd love your help in that. Improving the accessibility of it is super important. What is the roadmap for going forward? So here is the organization. We started it in 2023. We're in the midway of 2024. The theme is to grow the organization. Going beyond that, for the 3 years after that, the theme would be to globalize the organization. You can see here that the second bullet point was to launch an EMEA chapter. Thank you very much, Cristian, for leading this chapter. And our goals include strengthening the board, running a series of hackathons, which we're going to launch soon. And after that, the aim is to globalize the organization. We want to launch an APAC chapter, Asia Pacific chapter, become an incubator for startups, have our own research fund so we can commission research that's in line with the mission of Kwaai, become accredited so that we can actually give certifications to those people that do a tour of duty at Kwaai and participate in some of the projects. But ultimately, we want to become self-sufficient. We don't want to be continuously looking for donations and becoming a sad charity that is funded by donations. It's very important that an organization that's going to be credible and become a credible counterweight to the monopolizing forces becomes itself self-sufficient. So once we've built this organization and we're building, what are we going to be working on? Well, we're working on these 3 streams of endeavor. 80% of our activity is working on personal AI. We've shown the proof of concept. I've given you that demo. We're in the midst of building the beta. The beta would be launched in Q3. It'll be a closed beta that'll run in academia. It'll run in universities and colleges, and we can learn more about that later on. And then we hope to release it for general availability in Q4. And it'll have its own trajectory after that. We also have a research work stream. We're researching into neural network components and frameworks that'll make models smarter, faster, and greener. We also have got a very strong life sciences membership, and we're looking into the ways in which AI can be used in the life sciences area. We've got some very interesting developments going on, AI for drug allergies. We've also got one of our board members, Dr. Kai Pham, whose main research area is in reasoning AI. Also has developed a digital human cell, and this is one that you can pre-configure with any sorts of diseases and then conduct experiments on it, treatments, and that would increase the productivity of experimentation compared to wet lab experiments. So exciting stuff going on in the research track. In the policy track, I saw Marcus Hallside on the call. He's part of our policy track. This is part of our think tank. Has to anticipate AI in the workplace, AI in society. What are the laws? What are the policy elements that we have to look at? So we're looking at employment contract language, we're looking at model transparency, and we're looking at licensing for training data. So that's what's going on in Kwaai. Our broad goals is another view of what we want to do. Funding support needs. Let me tell you about the officers. It was actually Afshin Beheshti who introduced me to Cristian. Afshin is a space biologist. He's a physicist. He's a eminent researcher, and then we also joined recently by Doc Searles. We call him our Chief Intention Officer. He wrote the book, The Intention Economy, and it's worth reading because it is a guiding a document for where we're going. Okay, so thank you so much for participating, and I'm going to hand back to Cristian. Cristian, you can, over to you.
Okay. Thank you, Reza, for the great introduction and presentation. What can I say? I'm very excited to be here to take this important responsibility to grow up this chapter. EMEA chapter is a very big region of the world, and I am very, very excited. Thank you very much for the opportunity, and I hope that this community will grow up quickly as the US one. Okay, let's start to our main project regarding the EMEA chapter. Okay, perfect. The Kwaai EMEA chapter essentially will full align with the Kwaai main chapter, the US chapter. Essentially, we would like to guiding AI for humanity. And for doing that, we need a strategy. What is our strategy? But essentially is to build a community in order to work with the democratizing AI and advocating for responsible development. Okay, first we should build a community. How to build this? I summarize it in 5 key points. First is the funding principles. As I told you before, we fully align with the Kwaai US chapter, the main chapter. So we will follow the direction from the Kwaai main chapter, and also we will try to empathize in the EMEA region all that was built from the US chapter with the obvious adaptation, because you know law are quite different from country to country and from region to region. So this may be challenging, but we are here for work hard, and we will grow up quickly, and each member will give a great contribution for this project. Second key point, we should grow up in order to build this community, the EMEA region community. My idea is to have a transversal volunteer, essentially to reach out to diverse professionals, including data scientists, developers, researchers, policymakers, educators, and everyone that is enthusiastic, passionate about steering AI toward beneficial outcomes. Also, it will be very important to build a partnership in order to build a new alliance with the EMEA academic institutions, but also industry partners and government organizations in order to broad support and leverage resources for research, development, and advocacy efforts. Also, it is very important for us to build community engagement in order to conduct regular virtual public meetings, work groups, also in-person summits in order to facilitate collaboration, knowledge sharing, and brainstorming session. And the last, but not the less important, is to develop open source application and tools in order to embrace open source principles to foster transparency, inclusivity, and collective innovation in the AI development in our region, the EMEA ones. Okay. Also, it will be challenging for us to develop a research and development program, and essentially I propose 5 key points. That first is to work on fundamental research. We will invest a lot of time in research into advocated natural components and AI fundamentals in order to address axis deficits such as slow convergence, large training set requirements, and the lack of reasoning capabilities. But also we need to improve the personal AI operating systems. In order to do that, we will contribute to developing these open source personal AI operating systems that where the main objective is to empower individuals to build dataset, train, refine, and personalize their AI assistants using their private data security. I add in this key point to build datasets. This is a new thing that I want to introduce directly to the EMEA chapter, because it is also important to have a strong dataset in order to build knowledge around and to apply algorithms. This will be our key feature that as an experiment, I hope that can be extended in also in the US chapter. Also, another important key point is the privacy enhancement. We will work to integrate robust privacy persevering techniques into a personal AI framework, enabling users to retain control over their data and prevent unauthorized access to exploitation. Also, we will develop advanced natural language processing capabilities to enable seamless communication between user and their personal AI assistant. Essentially, we will try to improve what also is in building in the US chapter. We will try to give our own contribution. And last point, we will try to build a concept of green AI, and also in other terms to promote research into energy efficient AI algorithms and architecture in order to mitigate the environmental impact of computer intensive AI service. Because this machine consumes a lot of power. Each GPU consumes hundreds of watts, and for doing specific training or inference algorithms, you need a lot of power. So this is an important key point. But it's also important to develop communication and outreach. And for this, we will build public awareness campaigns. My idea is to launch educational campaigns to raise awareness about the social impacts of AI in order to debunk myths and foster informed discussion on the potential benefits and also risks. For doing that, we need media engagement. By the way, to collaborate with the media outlets to amplify the Kwaai message, share such stories, highlight the importance of responsible AI development in shaping a positive future, essentially. And also, it's very important to start a global collaboration in order to foster international collaboration with the like-minded organization and initiatives to exchange best practices, share resources, and advocate for shared goals and global scale. And lastly, the stakeholder engagement. This is a very important key point, because to engage with the stakeholders across sectors, including industry, academia, government, civil society, and the public too. So this is the feedback. This will be our mission, and it will be a great point to start. Also, I count to develop an ambassador program. I believe that it will be fundamental for us, specifically for the Kwaai EMEA chapter, to develop an ambassador program. Essentially, the purpose will be to expand the Kwaai reach, foster local communities, and drive engagement. But it will involve responsibilities, because it serves as a bridge between Kwaai and local communities, organize events, promote initiatives, and so on. But I count to have benefits for example, access to exclusive resource, networking opportunities, recognition, and so on for who want to join to this program. And lastly, the call to action in order to encourage individuals to apply or nominate ambassadors to represent Kwaai in the region. Regarding this program is just an idea, and I believe that we will work all together in order to define a better policy. Essentially, we need to define in details how to apply or nominate as an ambassador, with which criteria, for example, passion for AI, leadership skills, commitment to Kwaai missions. Also, how to define the application process by an online forms, selection criteria, and timeline. And lastly, I'd like such stories or testimonials from the current ambassadors. But we will work on this, I believe, to leverage in all the members that will attend the Kwaai EMEA chapter. Another key point is the dissemination and to produce events. My strategy is essentially based in utilizing multiple information sharing channels, for example, social media, newsletters, websites, partnership with the relevant organization, and so on. And also, it is very important for us to provide regular updates and announcements in order to inform the community about our progress, our events, and the opportunities that we can share with everyone that is interested. And lastly, the tailored communication for target audience. This is very important in order to recognize that different audience may have varying levels of interest and expertise. So it is very essential to tailor communication strategies to meet their needs. So we will try to spread the dissemination by leveraging in these 3 key points. And how to apply this, but essentially with the virtual workshop that will be hand-on session to educate and empower volunteers and enthusiasts on AI development, ethics, and personal AI customization. Also, I take in account to produce webinars in order to engage with experts and thought leaders to discuss pertinent topics in AI, ethics, and policy, fostering dialogues and knowledge exchange. And lastly, it is very important to try to produce in-person summits. I hope that we can reach 1 million, so that we will see in the next slides, to produce at least 1 annual in-person summits around the EMEA region in order to spread directly our message. Okay, so what is the importance of engagement? Essentially to encourage active participation and feedback from the entire EMEA chapter community, and also to building a sense of ownership. I want to be totally open and democratic with each member. Each one should be very proud to be owner of his message, his knowledge that will share with the community. That's very important for me and for the community. Okay, what are the milestones for the 24? Essentially, the first and very important for me is to build institutional cooperation. For example, to reach over 10 universities around EMEA region involved to collaborate with us. So for doing that, we need to identify potential university partners that should have expertise in AI, but not only machine learning, ethics, and all the related fields. But you know, AI is transversal, so each partnership with university is welcome, very welcome. It's important to establish a communication channel with this university, but specifically speaking with departments, research centers, and also faculty members. It is very important to present the Kwaai missions, initiatives, and the opportunities for collaboration with the university stakeholders. We will try to facilitate discussion in order to align interests and identify mutually beneficial projects. it will be very important also to formalize partnership through memorandum of understanding or collaboration agreements, because it's very important to be certified with them and to try to enlarge our community by official documentation that we can share with the community, and that we can leverage on them essentially. It would be very important to engage university partners in Kwaai working groups in order to, for example, research endeavors and educational initiatives. It will be very important to monitor and evaluate the progress of such collaboration in order to be ensure that to have an active participation and impact from each members. And lastly, I hope that we can celebrate achievement upon reaching the milestone of over 10 universities and actively collaborating on a Kwaai project. Other milestone is to build a policy impact. We should let's advocate for adopting responsible AI clauses in employment contract across at last 5 major corporations, setting a precedent for industry standards. This is very important. This will be for us key actions to spread vertically our message, to go directly inside the big company and to formalize specific clauses. Also to produce research breakthroughs. By the way, publish at least 3 peer-reviewed papers showcasing advancement in AI fundamentals and the development of the personal AI operating system. It will be very challenging, but I'm not afraid in doing that, because we will establish a strong cooperation with a lot of universities. So I believe that these key points will be very easy to reach. Also, the outreach such as I believe to reach over 500 individuals through public awareness campaigns, media engagements, and global collaboration, fostering a deeper understanding of AI ethics and democratization. And lastly, the community events. As I told before, for me it will be important to host at least one international summit, bridging together stakeholders from academia, industry, government, and civil society in order to discuss emerging AI trends, to share best practices, and drive collective action. Lastly, key point is regarding the EMEA chapter work groups. I believe to start with initially 3 working groups. The first is the policy group for the EMEA region. This working group essentially would analyze policy challenges and opportunities related to emergency technologies such as AI within the EMEA region. You know that we have different regulatory landscapes across country in Europe, Middle East, and Africa. The purpose of this group is essentially to work to identify common policy issues and to develop strategies for advocacy and collaboration. We will discuss topics that include the data privacy regulation, ethical guidelines for AI deployment, and strategies for promoting responsible AI adoption. And lastly, it will be very important to try to align each policy with different world region. For example, for us, it will be challenging to be aligned with the US region, because if we develop together algorithms or tools, it will be very important that these tools will be ready for be shared and spread over the world with any policy problem. They should be total flexible for each region. The second group is the Agri-Tech Innovation Group. This group was proposed from an early member of the EMEA chapter, and I am totally agree, because in our region, the Agri-Tech innovation problems are very sensitive, and we can leverage on that. So essentially, this work group will focus on leveraging AI and emerging technologies to address challenges in agriculture, with a particular emphasis, obviously, in the EMEA region. The members of this group will collaborate to identify key issues facing fairness in the region, such as resources scarcity, climate change, and labor shortage, and in order to explore how AI-driven solution can help to mitigate these challenges. And also this group will organize hackathons, workshop, and collaborative project in order to develop and implement AI-powered tools and technologies tailored to the needs of farmers in the diverse EMEA contexts. And last group that is very important and strategic, it will be the cross-disciplinary collaboration group. This is my idea, and also is my, how to say, is my life, because I try always to apply cross-disciplinary everywhere I apply my research, because this is the new challenge. The world is transversal, is not vertical. We should open the verticality in order to spread, to try to engage collaboration with different community, with different people that may have a different view of the world, that concatenated with our view can let us grow up in a very fascinating multidisciplinary world. So essentially, this work group would encourage in the disciplinary collaboration by bridging together members from different academic disciplines or professional backgrounds. Also, this group will promote the cross-pollination of ideas, facilitating disciplinary research projects, and encourage innovative approach to addressing complex AI challenges. And I believe that this group will be a very strong group that will be an example for everyone in order to democratizing AI in the key of cross-disciplinary works. So this is only the beginning, guys. We need to work strongly. This is just a general idea, but let's build the future together. I am just a member like you with the pleasure to try to guide you in this challenging adventure. But now the power is you. So let's build the future together. And it's very important for me that any new ideas is always welcome in order to spread the message, to grapple together, and to facing this challenging that wait us, and where I am totally excited to be one of the protagonists with you. So essentially now it's time to the audience to give them the voice, because the much more important protagonist is not me and Reza. We are just who want to serve this community, to push this community, to give courage, to try to put our enthusiasm, to transmit our energy. But the engine, it's you, the audience. So now it's time that each one of you will take courage and will present himself, and in order to try to share his expertise and what is his idea and how would like to be involved in the EMEA chapter of Kwaai. So just raise your hand, and one at once you can take your time. Don't be shy. It's a friendly community, totally open. We are a family. No, it's not an exams.
And you know, if you don't put your hand up, we're going to call on you.
Sure. But I don't want to do the professor, is it? So, Marcus, you're welcome.
Hi. As Reza mentioned, I've been working on with the policy group on the subject of employment contracts for bringing a personal AI assistant with you to work. But really, that's not the reason I wanted to jump in here. We've been talking about the American market or the American environment, but with the new EU AI Act, I think it would be important to take into account what is there and what is missing in the work we're doing on the policy group, and perhaps a different policy group for Europe rather than the policy group for for all of Kwaai and the Americas.
Thanks so much, Marcus.
Thanks, Max. It will be very challenging because I did a preliminary study, and the EMEA region is rich of diversity regarding this. It's not just Europe, but it will be also UK, it will be also Israel, it will be a lot of countries. It will be very challenging, but we will study each state. I hope to have members from each state that will share their knowledge about.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. We need to look at all of the countries.
Yeah, sure.
But Europe seems to be more advanced than most.
Yes, but the FES was the FES.
Yeah.
Essentially, the FES has a big region to propose this act, but we know that is just the beginning. It's just a framework. This act don't go in depth at the moment, but just try to cover the most high risk problems that the AI can generate.
Yeah, I agree totally. One of the reasons I think it's important is because what we're trying to do with Kwaai is it basically improves upon most of that regulation,
Sure.
or gets around it by doing something which is as important, if not more important. And I think that's a good way of promoting the Kwaai approach, that fair enough, regulators are attempting to do things, but we're doing something which is actually practical and works.
Sure.
And gives people using our personal AI more control over their environment.
But also to mitigate each different act from a different country, because you know, each country may have a very different idea, but we can try to go inside it to try to leverage all and to propose directly into the country. Maybe we will have a politician or someone that want to catch our suggestions. I don't know. It will be challenging and fascinating.
Cool.
Thank you.
Let's hear from some more voices.
Omar, welcome.
Thank you, guys. Really quick, yeah, from my side, I'm just stopping by to check out the group. I'm new here. I missed the opportunity to talk to you guys back in Pasadena, doing skill. Yeah,
Right.
I
Yeah.
was right there, but for whatever reason I couldn't. I'm located right now in Munich, and my intention is to create a Gen AI community here in Munich. It will be ideal for me. I would like to decentralize the AI power that the big companies have into more open source solutions, and that's basically my idea. But I want to see if in combination with this
Yes.
community, I can achieve that. That's it.
Omar, sign up. Come join. Let's pool our efforts. Okay.
Sounds good. Thank you, guys.
Abdul Rahman.
Yes.
Hi everyone. Yeah, I'm Abdurrahman today from Africa. No, I should say from Nigeria. So I've been with Kwaai volunteer for like close to a year now, and I've been following everything there, which resonates to my what I'm highly interested in as well. So EMEA chapter, the first time I heard about it, I was so happy that yeah, there is a kind of social inclusion in this, and so it resonates very well. So my idea, I don't want to fast forward everything, but everything listed by Cristian. Sorry for using your name, but in Africa, I shouldn't call your name directly. So I should say Mr. Cristian. Sorry for that.
Cristian,
So,
it's okay.
so I really love what you presented, and in terms of advocacy, I work with NGO as an engineer. And in terms of advocacy, I know this is very important because although what I basically work, I have worked in different projects for NGO, like that's ICT advocacy using technology for COVID-19 and other stuff like that. And so I understand that when it comes to AI in Nigeria, which is a place I know very well, I can't say for other African countries like that. I know we need to do a lot of advocacy on AI. There are a lot of myths about AI. Even today, I held a program where some people were like, yeah, AI will do this, AI, negativity, a lot of negativity about AI. So adding things like advocacy is a very good thing. And like, I really like what Umar said. There was a time, the first time I learned about Kwaai, I try to like gather or network with other Africans so that we can have an AI community. And so Omar, that's I like how why he brought something like that. So I believe at the long run we have more and more of these maybe different or many inputs into this work group. So in terms of policy as well, it will be a good way like that, because I believe there are some the policy we might be having in Africa might be different from other regions like that. So working together will make everything easy and possible. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Let's go to Adebayo. Adebayo. I don't know how the pronunciation. Please correct me for the next time.
Okay, sir. Mr. Christian, it's pronounced Adebayo. Yeah, you are right with the pronunciation.
Guys, I am Christian. No, me. We are at the same level each other. I am Christian. Okay.
As Abdulrahman said earlier, we are Nigerians and we are Africa, so there's going to be that Mister in there. But I understand Christian. So moving further, I just want to comment on what Abdulrahman said earlier on about advocacy. I'm the coordinator for the Effective Tourism Fellowship Programs in Nigeria, and one of Effective Tourism Fellowship Program. And one of our major focus is existential risk from artificial intelligence. So we are trying to set up a fellowship on AI governance in Nigeria. So I'm looking into partnering with Kwaai AI, where we can find some facilitator to just guide on some of these technical requirements from as regards building AI systems, AI agent and stuff and so on like that. Yeah, and then there's a bit of issues on regulation. I'm a law student and I have not really seen any tangible regulation as regards to artificial intelligence in Africa, so to speak. But then it's not really one of our major focus, because our concerns are on maybe the low-hanging fruit that are necessity to our development. So AI is actually not a major issue here, but then there are sometimes we look at the ethical consideration in regard to this, so we have to also focus on that. And then there are a lot of NGOs working on adoptions of or the culmination of a framework or policy in Nigeria. So yeah, it's a nice place to be, and I hope I will be able to contribute more as time goes on.
Thank you very much. So who is the next?
And you know I'm going to call on you if you don't put your hand up.
Yeah.
So it's good to see lots of participation from Africa. Let's go down to the tip of Africa, where the word Kwaai comes from. Kwaai means angry. It means cool. Yeah. Mark Edwards, not from the tip of Africa, from London.
Okay. Hi, Mark. Welcome. Unmute, please.
Oh, unmute yourself. There we go.
Sorry, apologies for that. I joined really out of interest. I mean, I don't really have a huge background in AI unless unless you count some college prologue and Lisp, which is many years ago, too many. But I think my reason for joining here is I think these are all very important questions. I think the personal AI space, I think it has, enormous potential for a lot of good and an enormous potential for it to be abused. And that's why I think this kind of movement, is an important step forward, and really kind of congratulate everyone for actually taking the time to get together and actually promote it. It was
thanks so much, Mark. Thanks very much. And that's a face from the past.
Indeed.
Okay, keep well.
Thank you. Welcome, René.
Hi, yes, so I'm from the tip of Africa, Cape Town. I'm a lawyer. I specialize in tech. My particular interest is e-commerce, but more so privacy. Like Mark said, I'm very excited about how AI can make our lives easier, but I'm also very concerned about the vulnerability that leaves to younger minds, like children. They do not have the critical faculty to see when things are not as they claim, and that's leading them down to potentially dangerous consequences. So that's my mission, is to keep children safe online.
That's very interesting.
Thanks, René.
Thank you. So the next one is raise your hand. I see different my students, but they are shiny. I need to call someone, or someone will come along. Okay.
Well, Cristian, you've got.
Oh, here's Andrea.
Here's Andrea. Yeah. Okay, Andrea.
Break the bridge, Andrea.
Sorry? Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, perfect.
Yes. Hi, I'm Andrea Perrotta. I'm an engineer, and I am an enthusiast of AI. Of course, I like very much such type of initiative in order to become a general use and democratize the AI. Anyway, I would like to ask someone some things about Cristian presentation about the use of AI in the agri-technology and agri-food, because I involved in some project at European Commission in order with DG Agri and DG Mare, and I like to understand what are your mind about such type of work.
Andrea, essentially is to let grow up this field, essentially for the Africa region that may need more than other country to develop this technology in order to try to optimize the production and so on. I believe that we can leverage each other in order to grow up all together in this direction. But this group is just starting, so each contribution will be very welcome in order to try to build a strong community in order to leverage each other for the same purpose of the group, essentially. So thank you, Andrea.
Thank you.
Cristian, just time for you to wrap up?
No. Someone else?
Cristian, we're coming up to the time limit, so you should probably.
Yes. Okay. So, guys, I am very happy. I believe that this first meeting was very important. It was our first milestone, our first meeting. I am totally happy to have all of you here with us. And this is just the starting point. As you know, we will have the next meeting in 2 weeks, essentially the 9 May. And the public meeting for the EMEA region is be weekly. So each 2 weeks we will meet. We will start like that, and in the future maybe we will intensify this appointment. So thank you very much for being here, and I'm totally happy to keep this challenge with you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Reza. Thank you, everybody. See you in the next Kwaai EMEA chapter. And as we say in the US chapter, happy Kwaai Day.
Happy Kwaai Day.
Okay. Kwaai Day. Kwaai
yeah,
Day.
even though it's Thursday.
Was forged from Reza. And
so don't forget to sign up at Kwaai.ai. That'll give you access to the Slack channels and the work groups. Okay, keep well.
Great.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
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 Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.